Hey there, beautiful soul. It's Aurora here, and I have something absolutely incredible to share with you today. What if I told you that in just the next 20 minutes, you could transform the way you speak English forever? What if I told you that by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to sound more natural, more confident, and more like a native speaker than you ever thought possible? I know what you're thinking. Aurora, is that even possible? Can I really improve my English that dramatically in such a short time? And here's the thing, I've been teaching English for over a decade, and I've seen thousands of students make breakthrough moments that changed everything for them. Today, I'm going to share with you the exact same secrets that took my students from feeling nervous and awkward when speaking English to feeling confident and natural in any conversation. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where you knew the grammar, you knew the vocabulary, but when you opened your mouth to speak, the words just didn't flow naturally? You felt like a robot reading from a textbook instead of having a real, authentic conversation. If you're nodding your head right now, you're definitely not alone. This is exactly what we're going to fix today. The truth is, speaking English naturally isn't about memorizing more grammar rules or learning fancy vocabulary. It's about understanding the rhythm, the flow, and the little secrets that native speakers use every single day without even thinking about it. And I'm about to share all of that with you right now. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's embark on this journey together. By the time we're done, you're going to feel like a completely different English speaker. Are you ready? Let's do this. The first secret to speaking naturally is something I call the contraction connection. Native speakers don't say, I am going to the store. They say, I'm gonna go to the store. They don't say, what are you doing? They say, what are you doing? Or even, what you doing? Here's the thing, when you use contractions, you immediately sound more relaxed and natural. It's like the difference between wearing a stiff, formal suit and your favorite comfortable jeans. Both are appropriate, but one just feels more natural for everyday conversation. Let me give you some examples that will change your life. Instead of saying, I would like to have a coffee, try saying, I'd love to grab a coffee. Do you hear the difference? The first one sounds like you're ordering at a fancy restaurant. The second sounds like you're talking to a friend. Instead of, I do not understand what you are saying, try, I don't get what you're saying, or I'm not following you. These phrases are what real people use in real conversations every single day. Here's a little story to illustrate this. Last month, I was at a coffee shop and I overheard two conversations. The first person said, "Excuse me, could you please tell me where the restroom is located?" The second person said, "Hey, where's the bathroom?" Both got the same result, but can you guess which person sounded like a native speaker? Exactly, the second one. Now let's talk about the second game-changing secret: filler words and natural hesitation. This might surprise you, but perfect English actually sounds unnatural. Native speakers use filler words like well, you know, I mean, and like all the time. These aren't mistakes, they're natural parts of conversation that give us time to think and make us sound more human. For example, instead of saying, I think this movie is very good, try, well, I mean, I think this movie is, really good. It might seem like you're making it more complicated, but you're actually making it more natural. Let me share another real-life example. Yesterday, I asked my American friend what she thought about the new restaurant downtown. She didn't say, the restaurant serves excellent food, and the service is outstanding. She said, oh, that place? Well, the food is, really amazing, and the service is pretty great too, you know. The third secret is what I call the emotion connection. Native speakers don't just communicate information, they communicate feelings. They use intonation, stress, and emotional words to make their speech come alive. Instead of saying, the weather is bad today, try the weather is absolutely terrible today. Or, man, it's really nasty out there. The information is the same, but the emotional impact is completely different. When someone asks, "How are you?" don't just say, "I am fine, thank you." Try, "I'm doing great, thanks for asking." Or, "Not too bad, how about you?" Or even, "I'm hanging in there, it's been a crazy week." Here's a story that perfectly demonstrates this. I once had a student named Maria who was technically perfect with her English grammar, but she sounded like she was reading from a dictionary. One day, I challenged her to tell me about her weekend using emotion words and contractions. Instead of saying, "I visited my grandmother and we prepared food together," she said, "Oh my gosh, I went to see my grandma and we had such a blast cooking together." The transformation was incredible. She went from sounding like a textbook to sounding like a real person with real emotions. Now, here's the fourth secret that most English teachers never tell you: the power of chunk learning. Native speakers don't think word by word, they think in chunks or phrases. Instead of learning individual words, start learning groups of words that naturally go together. For example, instead of learning very, good, and at separately, learn the chunk really good at. Instead of learning I am going to separately, learn the chunk I'm gonna. Here are some powerful chunks that will immediately make you sound more natural. I'm thinking about, instead of I am considering. How's it going, instead of how are you today. No big deal, instead of it is not important. That's awesome, instead of that is very good. I can't believe, instead of I am very surprised. Let me tell you about David, one of my students from Brazil. He used to say things like, "I am very happy to encounter you here today." After learning chunks, he started saying, "Hey, so good to run into you." The difference was like night and day. The fifth secret is mastering the art of small talk. This is where most non-native speakers struggle because small talk isn't really about exchanging information. It's about connecting with people. When someone says, "How's your day going?" they're not asking for a detailed schedule of your activities. They want to connect with you as a human being. So instead of "Today I worked for 8 hours, then I went to the grocery store and now I am here," try, "Oh, same old, same old. Just trying to get through the week. How about you?" Here are some natural small talk responses that native speakers use every day. When someone asks, "What's up?" you can say, "Not much, just chillin'." "Oh, the usual." "Just keeping busy." "Living the dream," said with a bit of sarcasm for humor. When someone asks, "How's work?" you can say, "It's going well, thanks for asking." "Oh, you know how it is." "Can't complain." "Keeping me busy." The sixth secret is understanding cultural context clues. English isn't just about language, it's about culture. Native speakers use references, idioms, and cultural expressions that make them sound natural and connected. For example, instead of saying, "I am very busy," try, "I'm swamped," or "I'm up to my neck in work." Instead of "That is very expensive," try, "That costs an arm and a leg," or "That's pretty pricey." But here's the important thing. You don't need to learn every idiom in the English language. Just pick a few that feel natural to you and start using them. The key is consistency and authenticity. Last week, I was talking to my friend Sarah about her new job, and she said, "Girl, I'm totally drowning in paperwork, but hey, that's the price you pay for moving up in the world, right?" She used natural contractions, "I'm." That's an idiom, drowning in, filler words, "hey," and cultural expressions. That's the price you pay, all in one sentence. That's what natural English sounds like. The seventh secret is the rhythm and flow factor. English has a natural rhythm, almost like music. Native speakers don't speak with the same stress on every word. They create a melody with their speech. For example, in the sentence, "I'm going to the store to buy some groceries," the stress falls on going, store, buy, and groceries. The other words are said more quickly and softly. This creates a natural rhythm that makes your English sound fluent and natural. Practice this sentence. "I can't believe how beautiful the weather is today." Put stress on can't. Believe, beautiful, weather, and today. Let the other words flow more quickly between these stressed words. Here's a practical exercise you can do right now. Take any sentence you want to say and identify the most important words, usually nouns, main verbs, and adjectives. Put stress on those words and let the other words flow around them. It's like creating a song with your speech. The eighth secret is the power of storytelling language. Native speakers don't just state facts, they tell many stories, even in casual conversation. They use words like so, then, and, but to connect their ideas and create flow. Instead of saying, I went to the store, I bought milk. I came home. Try, so I went to the store and I grabbed some milk, then I headed back home. Do you hear how much more natural and engaging that sounds? Here's another example. Instead of my car broke down, I called a taxi. I was late for work. Try, so my car totally broke down on me this morning, and I had to call a taxi, but I still ended up being late for work. What a day. The ninth secret is mastering agreeable responses. In natural English conversation, we don't just say yes or no. We use a variety of responses that show we're engaged and interested in the conversation. Instead of just yes, try. Absolutely. For sure. You bet. Definitely. That's right. Instead of just no, try. Not really. I don't think so. Nah, casual. I'm not sure about that. And here's something really important. Learn to show interest in what others are saying. Use responses like, really? No way. That's crazy. I can't believe it. Tell me more. These little responses make conversations flow naturally and show that you're an engaged, interesting person to talk to. The 10th and final secret is the confidence factor. Here's the truth that nobody wants to tell you: confidence is more important than perfection. Native speakers make mistakes all the time. They say, they forget words, they restart sentences. The difference is that they don't let it stop them from communicating. I want to share a story about Alina, one of my favorite students. She came to me completely terrified of speaking English. She knew all the grammar rules perfectly, but she was so afraid of making mistakes that she barely spoke. One day, I gave her a challenge. For the next week, I want you to make at least one mistake every day when speaking English, and I want you to celebrate it. It sounds crazy, right? But here's what happened. When Alina gave herself permission to make mistakes, she started speaking more. And when she started speaking more, she started sounding more natural. Within a month, she was having confident conversations with native speakers, complete with natural contractions, filler words, and emotional expressions. The secret isn't perfection, it's practice and confidence. Every time you speak English, you're getting better. Every mistake you make is teaching you something new. Every conversation you have is making you more natural. Now, let me give you some practical phrases that you can start using immediately to sound more natural. For agreeing with someone. I totally agree. You're absolutely right. That makes sense. I couldn't agree more. For disagreeing politely. I see what you mean, but... That's an interesting point, however. I'm not sure I agree with that. I have a slightly different opinion. For expressing uncertainty. I'm not entirely sure, but... I could be wrong, but I think... Don't quote me on this, but... As far as I know. For changing the subject. Speaking of which... That reminds me. By the way... On a completely different note. For showing interest. That's fascinating. I had no idea. Really, tell me more. How interesting. Here's something I want you to remember. Every native speaker you admire was once where you are right now. They learned these patterns through experience, through making mistakes, through practicing. The only difference between you and them is time and practice. You have everything you need right now to start speaking more naturally. You have the knowledge, you have the tools, and most importantly, you have the desire to improve. That desire is more powerful than any grammar book or vocabulary list. I want to challenge you to something. For the next 7 days, I want you to use at least 3 of the techniques we talked about today in every English conversation you have. Use contractions, add some emotion to your voice, throw in a filler word or two, and most importantly, speak with confidence. Don't worry about being perfect. Native speakers aren't perfect either. Focus on being natural, being authentic, and being confident. Focus on connecting with people rather than impressing them with your grammar knowledge. Remember, language is not about rules, it's about connection. It's about sharing your thoughts, your feelings, your experiences with other human beings. When you speak with the intention of connecting rather than performing, everything changes. You are capable of amazing things. You've already come so far in your English journey, and every day you're getting better. Every conversation you have is making you more confident. Every mistake you make is teaching you something valuable. The most beautiful part about learning English is that it opens up a whole world of connections, opportunities, and experiences. Every time you speak English naturally, you're not just using a language, you're building bridges with people from all over the world. So go out there and practice. Make mistakes. Laugh at yourself. Connect with people. Use those contractions, add some emotion, tell little stories, and speak with the confidence of someone who knows they're on an incredible journey of growth and discovery. Your English adventure is just beginning, and I couldn't be more excited to be part of it. Remember, you're not just learning a language, you're becoming a more confident, connected, and capable version of yourself. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and keep speaking with courage. The world is waiting to hear what you have to say, and trust me, you have so much amazing stuff to share. Until next time, keep shining, keep growing, and keep speaking English naturally. You've got this, and I believe in you completely.